Discover. Just a reminder, it is recording and it doesn't just pick up my voice, it picks up your voice too. Okay, so, all right, here's our triangle. We are going to follow the instructions, which some of you had difficulty doing because you just wanted to do it really fast instead of reading what they said. Sketch an altitude just from vertex B. An altitude's definition, and it goes from the vertex to the opposite side at 90 degrees. Okay, we're going to label the altitude K. Okay, we notice that it makes two right triangles, so we ignore one side to answer the question, then we'll ignore the other side. So we're going to ignore one side of the triangle and then ignore the other side of the triangle. Okay, it's just two right triangles next to each other. We've got A. I want to label what sine A would be. We would have the opposite is K, the hypotenuse is C. So that's K over C. Okay? And then if we're going from C, K is still my opposite, but now A is the hypotenuse of this triangle, the other side. Okay? Now, we are going to solve them for K, so I'm going to rewrite them. Sine big A equals K over little c. Don't mix up the capital letters in lowercase, because lowercase now means sides and uppercase means angles. Okay? We're going to multiply both sides by little c. These cancel, and I'm left with little c sine A equals K. And I'm just going to do the other side. Sine C equals K over little a. I'm going to multiply both sides by little a. And I get little a sine C equals K. My next step is, since they both equal K, they both equal each other. C sine A equals A sine C. My next step is to regroup them so that I have it all by itself. And I'm going to take a few steps to do that at the bottom of my paper. So I'm going to rewrite it first. Little c sine big A equals little a sine big C. I'm going to divide by little c. They cancel, and I get sine big A equals little a sine C over C. Now I'm going to get rid of that little a. I'm going to divide both sides by little a. They cancel. And I'm left with big sine A over little a equals sine C, big C, over little c. Okay, let's turn over our paper. We're going to do almost the exact, I will wait. We're going to turn over our paper, and we're going to do almost the exact same thing on the other side. I'm not turning it over yet, so you don't need to keep saying wait, as you might have noticed. Okay? All right? And we are going to look at the other side, and we're going to follow those instructions. I am going to turn it over now, but I will put it back up if somebody missed something, okay? All right. So, again, we're going to sketch another vertex, but this time we're doing it from big C. And we create two right triangles. Now, if we're looking at A, we're labeling it K. If we're looking at A, K is my opposite, and B is my hypotenuse. I'm looking at B. K is my opposite. A is my hypotenuse. All right? Now, I'm going to solve them for K. Sine big A equals K over little b. And I'm going to multiply both sides by little b. So little b sine A equals K. And I'm going to do the other side. Sine B equals K over little a. Multiply both sides by little a. Little a sine B equals K. Notice, guys, that, again, they equal K, so they both must equal each other. So little b sine A equals little a sine B. My next step is I am going to regroup to get them alone. Again, I'm going to take a couple steps to do that. Little b sine A equals little a sine B. I'm going to divide by little b. They cancel. I'm left with sine big A equals little a sine B over little b. Okay? Then I am going to divide both sides by little a. And I'm ending up with sine big A over little a equals sine big B over little b. Okay? So remember, we're finding the equation. What I'm going to test you on is using the equation, not finding it. Okay, so deep breath about that one, okay? So, number 13. I had some people get really upset last hour. It's going to be all right. All right, 13. We're just taking the front side, sine A over little a. We're taking the back side equals sine B over little b. And they all three must be equal to each other, sine C over little c. When we do our equation, and I'm going to show you an example of these in just a second, when we do the equation, we are just going to use 2 out of the 3. We can either use sine A and sine B over little a and little b, or we can use sine B over little b and sine C over little c, or we can use sine A over little a, sine C over little c. Okay? So you're just going to always use 2 out of the 3. We are going to do number 1 on your paper right now.
Can we just do it on the back?
Yeah. I'm using another sheet of paper just so I can show it to you. Just so it's clear. The first thing I'm going to do with this problem is label my sides little a, little b, and little c. Okay? Here's big B. This is little b over here. This is big C. This is little c over here. This is big A, so this is little a over here. Okay? Step 1's done. Step 2, I like to know what the third angle of a triangle is. How do I do that? 180 minus 118 minus 22, and I'm left with 40 degrees. And I'm going to put that right in my triangle, 40 degrees. I've done this problem already, don't worry about it. I don't normally be able to do it that quick. Okay, so what am I looking for? It says find AC. Is that little a, little b, or little c? Little b. So I know I'm looking for little b. So I know I have to use the b part of my equation. Okay? Because you're looking for little b, you use the b part of the equation. Okay? So which other side do I have? A or C? I have the length of little a.
Wait, what?
I have C. Okay? So I'm going to use C. So I'm going to use the equation just like that. So I'm going to write down sine big B over little b equals sine big C over little c. My next step, ladies and gentlemen, is to replace those letters with numbers. Sine, what is the angle for B? 22. What is the side length for little b? Do we know it? So we're just going to leave it as little b. Good. Sine, what is the angle for big C?
40.
40, good. What is the side length for C?
20.
Good. So far, so good. We are going to cross multiply now. Okay? We're going to write 24 sine 22 equals B sine 40. Okay? One more step before I put something in my calculator. How am I going to get B by itself?
Divide.
Good. Divide sine of 40. Okay? So I'm going to put that in my calculator. Make sure you put parentheses around the top part or it messes you up. Make sure you put parentheses around the top part. Parentheses 24 sine 22, end parentheses, divide sine 40.
Wait, you put it exactly how it is?
Yep,
You go with parentheses and calculator?
yep. So I get that little b is approximately 13.99.
This stuff is easy, but really not.
Okay, so I am going to stop the recording, but I want you to try number 2 right now, okay? And I'm going to walk around and help anybody that is still having trouble labeling the sides. Remember you do first? Then you find the missing angle. Then you decide what equation you're using. Then you plug in the numbers. Then you cross multiply. Then you divide. And I am going to write those, even before I help anybody, I'm going to write those steps up on the board. Okay? But I'm going to stop recording first.